Imagine waking up with the knowledge that you have what it takes to get whatever you desire out of life. You feel strong, empowered, and in control. Getting to this level is achievable, but it requires unearthing what Carl Jung described as the shadow, your dark side. Inside each of us are traits and instincts we've buried to fit in. Qualities like aggression, risk-taking, and assertiveness. We're pressured to suppress these, but they don't just disappear. We still need them. If you ignore hidden components of the self, they come out in uncontrolled ways such as anxiety, self-doubt, or sudden outbursts of anger. Shadow work is about gaining control of yourself. Forget therapy, healing, or inner angst. That's for losers, to be honest. This is about power. When you integrate the shadow, you add extra dimensions to your persona. Simply put, you become a bigger person outwardly, more charismatic and effective. Some people, especially those who benefit from your weakness, may not like the new version of you. That's fine. You're not doing this for them. Let's go on a really honest journey into shadow work. Learn how to use your inner power to become stronger. I'll step through an intuitive, bullshit-free method that makes shadow work about as easy as it can be. You won't forget how to do this if you watch closely until the end. And you can use the approach anytime you have a moment to genuinely reflect. Each one of us has a hidden, suppressed dimension, our buried, subconscious self, our dark side. It is also known as the shadow. Carl Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Facing your shadow is a pathway to a better life. Personal power grows when you summon the courage to confront the darker aspects of your nature. Carl Jung also observed, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Your shadow, the part of you that is usually kept hidden, is an unrealized source of strength. Will you face it and discover your true potential as a human being? Today, I hope to inspire you to look inward for insights into your hidden self. Jung showed that examining our flaws is actually empowering. We can apply his technique, shadow work, to transform failures into successes. I'll step you through an intuitive method for reflection in quiet moments. Your life could turn in an instant with a flash of insight. We need to pay attention to things like sudden emotional outbursts, repeated relationship struggles, or self-defeating habits. Such unwanted occurrences often reveal bigger truths. The key to personal growth using shadow work is to stop looking for external explanations when things don't go your way. While there may be excuses at times, patterns in your life aren't accidents. They reflect deeper aspects of who you are. Take control and shape your future. Confront your dark side and uncover powerful parts of yourself that have been waiting in the shadows. The shadow holds untapped potential. Traits and instincts you've repressed or ignored often contain the energy and power needed to overcome challenges and pursue what truly matters. Imagine transforming raw intensity into focused determination, hesitation into precision, or hidden creativity into undeniable influence. These strengths don't come from denying your shadow, but from embracing it and turning it into a source of power. Begin by recognizing recurring patterns and asking deeper questions. Why do certain situations evoke strong feelings or reactions? What hidden parts of yourself might hold the key to unlocking greater potential? This process doesn't require overthinking, just honest curiosity. By examining these moments, you start to uncover what drives you and, more importantly, how to direct that energy toward your goals. Reflection is your ally here. Think back to moments in your life when you felt unstoppable, as well as times when something held you back. These reflections aren't about blame or regret. They're about clarity. Picture yourself standing in the moments where your shadow influenced your choices, and imagine approaching those situations again, but this time with full awareness of your power. This isn't about fixing weaknesses. It's about reclaiming your full self. A warrior doesn't hide from complexity or doubt. They use every part of who they are, including the instincts they once dismissed, to take bold and deliberate action. Your shadow isn't an obstacle. It's the fuel that will drive you to achieve the life you want. When you bring it into the light, you don't just discover more about yourself. You create the strongest version of who you've always been capable of becoming. The dark side of our personality is known as the shadow. It's the subconscious part of ourselves that we repress. Carl Jung observed that the shadow becomes blacker and denser the further it is kept from our waking mind. The good news is that our whole self can be made stronger by shadow work, which involves facing and integrating our hidden entity. We can overcome destructive behaviors, relationship insecurity, anger, jealousy, and fear. Join me on a journey to understand our dark side and how to use this knowledge for good. You'll learn a simple, repeatable way to meet and harness the shadow. You won't need to journal or hire a therapist. Let's get started. What is shadow work? It's a psychological practice developed by Carl Jung. The idea is to explore the parts of yourself that you tend to hide or deny because they feel uncomfortable, undesirable, or are buried in the unconscious. By bringing these aspects into the light, you gain self-awareness, heal emotional wounds, and move toward a greater sense of wholeness. Jung believed that examining the psyche is essential because humans are responsible for both the good and the evil in the world.
We need more psychology. We need more understanding of human nature, because the only real danger that exists is man himself. He is the great danger, and we are pitifully unaware of it. We know nothing of man, far too little. His psyche should be studied, because we are the origin of all coming evil.
The process is not easy because it requires dwelling on the unpleasant aspects of your behavior and past. One's shadow causes actions like overreacting in anger, feeling jealous without reason, or sabotaging relationships and opportunities. Reflecting on these behaviors is necessary to uncover their deeper origins, even when it's painful. A further dark dimension of this exploration is the potential to uncover ruthless elements of the self. These might include desires for control, suppressed rage, or envy that contradict your conscious self-image. Recognizing these elements can be unsettling because it reveals your capacity for both good and harm.
One of the most useful things that Jung did, I think, was to work on this idea of the integration of the shadow. What do you do with the part of you that's aggressive and potentially malevolent? Do you just crush it? That's the superego response in some sense. Do you just put it behind you, so to speak? Or do you admit to its existence and bring it into the game? For Freud, in some sense, morality was superego clamping down on the id, and they were fundamentally opposed. Both Jung and Piaget had a different idea, and I think they were right. It's like, no, you invite the bad guys out to play. And so you're an aggressive hockey player, but it's disciplined aggression. That gives you access to a whole sorts of energy you wouldn't otherwise have.
It would be wrong to characterize the shadow as a bad actor. The hidden aspects of ourselves often develop as protective mechanisms or adaptations to challenging circumstances. Traits like aggression or defensiveness may have ensured survival in certain situations. These tendencies are not inherently bad. They are a natural part of being human. Our character becomes divided into the conscious and subconscious through life experiences, including socialization. Traits or behaviors that don't align with societal expectations or our desired self-image are often pushed into the subconscious. Over time, this creates a divide between the parts of ourselves we accept and those we deny, forming the shadow. The elements contained in our subconscious self are essential for us to thrive and prosper. Without them, we would be incomplete and vulnerable. The cultivated outward expressions of ourselves alone are unlikely to create a robust person capable of handling a variety of circumstances and challenges. Integrating the shadow allows us to reclaim these hidden parts and channel them into strengths like confidence, emotional resilience, and adaptability. It is a pathway to enlightenment, helping us face difficulties with greater authenticity and self-awareness.
We have a long journey ahead.
Shadow work is accessible to those who understand the key concepts and have the ability to look inward calmly. Here are 5 steps to do it informally, on your own terms, with examples to make the method clear. Step 1. Notice patterns. Start by recognizing behaviors or feelings that trouble you. Emma feels constant jealousy and panics when her partner doesn't reply to texts, creating tension in her relationship. Jake procrastinates before exams, leaving everything to the last minute and feeling unprepared. These patterns repeat because their roots remain hidden. Step 2. Reflect calmly. Set aside time to reflect on the issue without judgment. This can be challenging because emotions like shame or frustration often get in the way. After an argument, Emma might sit quietly and ask why her jealousy feels so overwhelming. Jake, after another stressful cram session, might pause to think about why studying feels so hard to begin. Calming techniques like deep breathing, mindfulness, or simply taking a walk can help create the mental space for reflection. Even small moments of honest curiosity can start the process. Step 3. Ask questions. Dig deeper by questioning your triggers. Emma might ask herself, what am I really afraid of when my partner doesn't reply? What's behind this panic? Jake might wonder, what am I avoiding by procrastinating? Why does trying my best feel so threatening? These questions can reveal deeper fears, like Emma's fear of being unworthy of love, or Jake's fear of failing and feeling inadequate. Step 4. Explore the past. Look back at experiences that shaped these fears. Emma remembers her emotionally distant parents, realizing she internalized the belief that love had to be earned. Jake recalls being praised as naturally smart as a child, which made him afraid to try hard in case failure exposed his limits. Connecting these memories to current behaviors helps clarify the origins of the patterns. Step 5. Reframe beliefs. Reframing takes effort and compassion. Emma might visualize her younger self and tell that child, you don't have to earn love. You are worthy just as you are. Jake might remind himself, effort is strength, and failure doesn't define me. Techniques like visualization or self-dialogue can make this step more effective. Imagine speaking kindly to the younger version of yourself, or think of what you'd tell a close friend in the same situation. A range of other psychological techniques are available to support shadow work. To help create inner calm, consider deep breathing or focusing on sensory details like the sounds and textures around you. Journaling can help some people organize their thoughts and explore patterns in their behaviors. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, provides strategies to challenge negative thought patterns, which can enhance the reframing process. Internal family systems, IFS, focuses on exploring and integrating hidden parts of yourself, helping to build self-compassion. Some aspects of shadow work are especially difficult. It can be a confronting experience, and changing ingrained mental habits takes time. But just being familiar with the concept of the shadow may help you start a dialogue with yourself that contributes to a greater level of inner peace.